Hello folks, this is another Adventures with Bill YouTube video, and today I made this really cool spray booth. Now this is a spray booth for painting fishing lures or model cars, whatever you want, and I saw a lot of videos on YouTube, all different kinds, showing how to make them, different designs, things like that. I thought I can do that, so I actually built this in 2 hours. Nothing to it. I'm going to show you all the steps, and hopefully you'll enjoy this Adventures with Bill. Well, this is a picture of my mostly finished paint spray booth, and fortunately, all of the materials I had on hand, so I didn't have to go out and buy anything. As you can see, I've got a lot of junk out in my shop. For the bottom and the back side of the spray booth, I used this foam board, craft foam board, and it is 22 inches wide by 28 inches high, and that's what I decided to use for the bottom and the back of the booth. Here I have these trifold display boards, which is basically sturdy cardboard, and decided to use that for both the right and the left side. Here I've got the side of the booth set up on the bottom and back, and I've drawn a line on it, kind of an angled line. I want the opening in the front to be a little taller than on the back. So I just take, and you can see how I've got the lines drawn. I just used a razor blade and cut that out. Then I laid the cutout portion on the opposite side, transferred the design, and ended up cutting it out. To hold the pieces together while I'm assembling it, I just use little strips of masking tape, and here I've got the bottom and the back attached, ready for the main tape. And what I used for most of the edges for stability, instead of regular duct tape, I used this Gorilla brand duct tape. I'll have links in the description below this video for where you can find any of these products. They're readily available in different places, but you can find them in the description below. Here I've got a strip of the Gorilla Glue duct tape holding the back and the bottom together. Now I've got the left side in place, and temporarily, you can see on the top edge, I'm using the masking tape to hold it in place till we get the stronger tape on it. And from the back edge, you can see there I'm using just those little strips of tape to hold it in place. Now this is the back view, the view of the back of the booth. I've got both sides temporarily taped in place, and so the back edge is going to be actually 2 layers thick of the cardboard, except for right in the center. Here I've got it with the masking tape, everything in place, and I've got it laying on the side here while I'm just getting ready to duct tape those edges. Those 90-degree corners make for good rigidity, strength in the booth, and I plan on using this for a while, so that's why I went with the heavy-duty Gorilla Glue tape. And this is it pretty much trimmed off and assembled except for the top. To put the top on, I'm just using regular corrugated cardboard. So I just laid a sheet on it and traced the size on the outside to cut. I'll end up cutting most of that top off when we put the clear plexiglass on top to let light shine through. And here I've got the cutout cardboard duct taped in place. So the final shape is pretty much done. I wanted the front edge of the top to be pretty rigid. So I've got the booth flipped upside down here, and I've got a tape measure, a yardstick that I'm taping in place, and that'll give stability so that the front of the top won't droop down when it's right side up. And here it is, right side up, and it's duct taped in place. In some of the non-critical areas, I decided to use the cheap silver duct tape because the Gorilla Glue tape is pretty expensive, but I think it's the best there is for strength. And this is the booth pretty much assembled. I've laid a air filter, a regular house air filter in the back inside to kind of show where the filtration is going to take place. to pull the fumes and the vapors out, so I'm not breathing it. Safely send it outside through the filter system. So now I've got the filter on the back of the booth, and I just traced out the size of it. And the hole doesn't need to be the whole size of the filter, so I just cut about a 1 foot square opening for the exhaust to come out. And here I've got the filter back on the inside, so you can see the area that where the exhaust fan is going to be hooked up to. And this is a picture of the inside. You can see the opening taped off, and you can actually see the size of the opening through the filter material. It's a little transparent, and just a kind of a side angle view, a back view where you can see the filter material, the light coming through. And this is a little small table fan that I had planned to use to put behind the spray booth and pull the fumes out, but it's not powerful enough. It didn't move enough air. And I've just got a few paint cans sitting in the booth so you can kind of get a size of the booth. And the main use for this starting off is going to be painting fishing lures, glide baits, jerk baits, things like that. So there's plenty of room to do that. I wanted more light to come into the booth because to paint, you've got to have good light to see what you're doing. So out in my garage, I found a piece of plexiglass, 1/4 inch thick, cut it to shape. And so I've cut, you can see here, I've cut the top out of that corrugated cardboard, just left a little 2-inch edge all the way around. And now I've got the plexiglass laying on top of it. And it's actually duct taped into place at this time. And this is a view from inside the spray booth looking up. You can see that clear plexiglass. And from behind it, you can see how much light, natural light, it's going to let through. And it's not just going to be natural light. I actually have a lamp that I'm going to put on top that you'll see in a minute. This was my idea with that little box fan to pull the air through, but just it doesn't move enough air. So I've got here an exhaust fan, and this is a type of tubing hose, whatever you want to call it, wire hose. That it's used mainly to remove the fumes for welding. You can see that I don't even have it really attached to the back. It's just loose, so it's not pulling as much air through the box as it will when I get that attached. But you can see here a little test using a blue paper towel. The fan just sucks it right up against it. And that's with it not even sealed on the outside. So I mentioned I'm going to be hooking up a light, and here I've got the light set up on the top. It's a flat LED light. You can see what a difference it makes when you turn it on. And you can also adjust the color of the light. Well, that's my quick 2-hour spray booth construction project. It was a fun little project. Fortunately, I had all the materials on hand. I didn't have to run out shopping for them. Hopefully you enjoyed this. It's nice and short. If you wouldn't mind clicking the thumbs up like button, and also subscribe to this channel. That way you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out. It doesn't cost anything to like and subscribe. It helps me out on the channel. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, God bless you.